Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to episode 4 of Can AI Beat the Bookies? Now, in just a moment, we're going to have a look how we get on with our week 3 selection and also place our bet for week 4. But before we do so, for those of you that are new here, I'm going to quickly recap on the rules of the series before we get into it. So, very quickly, we began the series with a £100 bankroll. Every single week, we ask AI to give us free value bets from the upcoming sport in action. The bets have to be from 3 different sports and maximum odds of 5 to 2. From the free selections that AI gives us, I then choose the bet that I like most, and we stake a £10 bet on it. Now, to make things a bit more exciting, we can't bet on the same sport 2 weeks in a row. So if I chose football from the free AI selections the previous week, I can't then bet on football the week after. And every single week, we'll track our profit and loss using the weekly tracker for the end goal of the series to find out if AI is quicker to double its money or go bust. So folks, as you can see, we've got our updated weekly tracker on the screen in front of you. And for the very first time, there's a little green tick on that screen. And that's because we've managed to back our first winner of this series. So a week 3 bet was Stormers plus 34.5 handicap against New Zealand. That was AI's top selection. Stormers lost by 17 points, but they could have lost by another 17 on top of that, and the bet would have still won. So great shout from AI. And as I say, first win of the series, and our bankroll is now back closer to £100 at £87.50. Now, I have to say, AI had a great week because all 3 selections by AI won, so it made my job an awful lot easier. But with the Stormers plus 34.5 handicap at 1, which won, with Tom Kim to beat Aaron Rye in the golf, which won, and with Wolves to beat Port Vale, which also won. All 3 of them actually won very comfortably. So as I say, really good week from AI, and hopefully week 4 selections will be the same. But just to recap, that's our first win of the series, and our bankroll is up £7.50 from last week. It's up to £87.50. But now, let's jump straight into week 4 and see what selections we get, and hopefully AI can pick 3 winners again. So we've now asked AI our weekly question, and these are the 3 bets that it's come back with. So, number 1, we've got NRL. Number 2, we have AFL. And number 3, we have UFC. So, we'll just start at the top and work our way down, I think. Number 1, NRL or Rugby League. We've got Manly Seagulls half-time, full-time result against the Dolphins. Now, I'm assuming they're both Australian sides. I know Manly Seagulls definitely will be. But I don't have a clue about either of them and if they're good teams or not. But half-time, full-time, I feel like that's a fun market. I don't think we've had that before from AI. So that's interesting. But as I say, I don't know too much about it. Down to number 2, we've got AFL or Aussie Rules. Very Australian-based theme this week. AI must have been on holidays to Australia and just come back. But we've got Geelong Cats minus 12.5 handicap against North Melbourne. Again, I think I've maybe seen one Aussie Rules game in my life and seen a few highlights or clips. But I don't know a thing about the sport. I don't know if that's even a big handicap or not. So it'll be interesting to see what odds we get there. But I think an Aussie Rules bet's quite fun. I feel like it's not too often we'll get that from AI. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. And third, we've got UFC, and we've got Mackenzie Dern to beat Gillian Robertson. Again, I don't know if that's a good bet or not. I don't know how strong of a favourite Mackenzie Dern will be. I think we're just going to have to check the odds and bet 442 and sort of make a decision from there. So, as I say, I don't think this week's selection from me is going to be based on education or my knowledge of the sports. But that's the 3 bets we've got from AI. Quite interesting selections. So let's get over to bet 442, get our odds, and then make our decision for week 4's bet. So, as you can see, I've now been over to bet 442 and I've put the odds on the screen in front of you for each selection. So for the Manly Seagulls half-time, full-time result, we have 3 to 5. For the Geelong Cats, minus 12.5 handicap, we have 59 to 100. And for Mackenzie Dern to beat Gillian Robertson, we have 41 to 100. So the lowest odds of the 3 there is AI's third selection. So I think I'm going to rule out the UFC straight away at 41 to 100. Now, nobody fact checked me on this, but I think that's maybe 3 times in the series already. We've had a UFC bet as the third selection from AI. But as I say, I'm afraid I'm going to rule that one out, as it's AI's least confident and it's also the lowest odds. And I don't know too much about it anyway. So I think that's a fair enough way to rule it out. And now, between the top two, so we had the Rugby League, the Manly Seagulls halftime full time, and the Geelong Cats, the Aussie Rules minus 12.5 handicap. So between them two, I think they're both quite fun in their own way, because we've got a halftime full time market for the Rugby League, which we've not seen before. And then number two, just because it's Aussie Rules and I don't know too much about it, I think that's also just quite fun, a fun sport. I don't think we'll see it pop up too often, as I say. But I don't know if that's a big handicap or not. But I know very different sports, but with rugby union last week, I think this week we're not going to go for the Rugby League. I think we're going to go for the Aussie Rules and go for the Geelong minus 12.5 handicap. Now, this will be the first time I've selected a bet that isn't AI's top selection. So hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me. But I'm going to lock that in. We're going to go for the Geelong Cats minus 12.5 handicap against North Melbourne. And that's our week 4 selection. Here we are on our lovely Bet442 website. I'm going to go over to the left hand side and scroll down. And I'm looking for Aussie Rules. There we go. And I know that the game's on Saturday because I had a quick check. Now the second one, North Melbourne against Geelong. And as you can see, we weren't given the handicap that was closer to evens. We actually got a more conservative bet from AI. So I'm scrolling further down and there's a minus 12.5 at the odds of 59 to 100. And as always, I'm going to stake my £10 weekly bet. So £10 place bet. And that's our week 4 selection made. So folks, as you can see, we've got the tracker back on the screen in front of you, and I've updated it with our week 4 betting selection of Geelong minus 12.5 handicap at odds of 59 to 100. So if we manage to get a win, if they manage to beat the handicap, we'll get £5.90 profit, which will take our bankroll up to £93.40. Yeah, £93.40. I just had to make sure it was right there. But if we're unsuccessful, if they can't beat the handicap, our bankroll will be down to £77.50. But hopefully the Aussie Rules does us a few favours and we get back closer to 100 after the bad start we made in week 1 and 2. There we have it. That's week 4 of Can AI Beat the Bookies over. But if you're enjoying the series and you're enjoying the videos, please give them a like. If you want to see more from the channel, please subscribe. And if you want to check out our Bet442 website, I'll leave a link in the description below. Thank you for watching.